quick. Everybody, you're on
Okay.
Artist on Record, your ultimate intimate conversation with your favorite artist. I am ADIKA, and today in the hot seat, Bob Halligan Jr.,
What up?
songwriter,
Yeah.
Kix, Judas Priest, Cher, a lot going on. Even the Howard Hughes of rock and roll, he appeared, Donnie Purnell. He has a new record coming out, and you worked with it right now. And if Donnie, you're watching this,
Wow.
I want you on the show, Donnie, too. You know?
Donnie, I'm sure he'll, well,
Well, you never know
I'm
with
not
Donnie.
sure of anything.
Don't speak for Donnie, but
No, I
Donnie,
shan't.
you and I went to two different schools. I'm a big fan of your band, your former band, your new music. I think is really great. This is
Yeah.
Artist on Record. If it's your first time here, subscribe. What are you waiting for, you crazy kids? And
Yeah.
stop with the alligator arms. Buy a cup, buy some merch, and also get Donnie's new record. I'll put links for that and whatever Bob's doing. We're going to talk about all this. You'll get to know about Bob, Donnie, Stefan, Don, and Marie. It's all happening now on Artist on Record. Thank you for coming on the show.
Oh, yeah. This is good fun already. I love it.
And trusting me, trusting me. And
Yeah.
God, your name for people who are not watching, a lot of people maybe they don't read the credits like I used to. You
Yeah.
stare at a record, you get lost in it. As a
Sure.
Beatle fan, I'd want to know everything
Yeah.
from which Beatle to Mal Evans even being on there, Maxwell Silverhammer. But your name has been in the business for quite some time.
Yeah.
Growing up in Brooklyn, back in the day, there was an
Yeah.
album that meant something to me. And I play bass, so I used to. And one of my favorite bass players was Donnie Purnell.
Yeah.
Ultimate bass player, ultimate songwriter. He had a Les Paul bass, which I was mesmerized by. Like, I got to get that. I wanted to be Donnie, except he was shorter and I was taller, But
Yeah.
but amazing songwriter. And then he disappeared. I'm like, what happened to him? And and I love Kix, the sound that they did. And Donnie was, everybody has a Donnie. The Ramones had Johnny Ramone structured the band, and Donnie was the guy that structured Kix.
Oh, yeah. Totally.
But you not only you did it, you just recently a new record called Hooray with Donnie. You put out, which is
I've got it right here on the screen. I don't know if you're screening
I
any
see
of
it,
this, but
and yeah,
you see it, and maybe no one else does. I see it.
I see it.
It's
Hooray.
called Hooray. Yeah.
Great. But he's almost like, I would say Donnie is the Izzy Stradlin, Howard Hughes of rock and roll. Like he's Izzy, what Izzy was for Kix, because for Guns N' Roses, because Donnie told his songs, and then he disappeared, and he's like, "Where's Donnie? I always want to know what's he doing, what's happening." So when I find him, and I found your name, and then you wrote big songs for Kix. Don't close your eyes.
Yeah.
So Midnite Dynamite. Let's go. List goes on. So I'm here to kiss your ass, to tell you how great you are.
Oh,
and
perfect.
how happy I am you're here. Enough me chatting away. Let's talk to you. First, let's talk about Hooray, the most recent project that you just worked with Donnie. How long you been doing that for?
Yeah, Donnie and I started that, and I will say, speaking of the Howard Hughes of rock and roll aspect of Donnie, we made this whole album and never even spoke on the phone. Never mind, we're in the same room together, and we worked on it for 2.5 or 3 years. So what happened was, he sent me an email, and I sent him a thing I was working on for my band, Kaylee Rain. And he said, wow, that sounds really great. I've been writing a lot of songs in these 20-some years since Kix. And you can say no, but it'll break my heart. Would you please produce the record of this for me? And God bless him. He had these fantastic songs, and we plowed ahead doing all our communication via email and sending the tracks through the internet. Never once spoke until he came up from his home in West Virginia to my home in Syracuse So we did a celebratory kind of, a rap
Yeah.
party for the record. And it's the first I'd laid eyes on him in 5 or 6 or 7 years. And those were the first words we had regarding this album. And it was done. And there we were in the flesh in my driveway. And so it was kind of a surreal thing. Yeah, and you have to say it with a straight face for anyone to believe that that's how you guys did that. But that's how we did it. My summer baby. You guys did that, but that's how we did it.
That's how you did it. So wow, so all of a sudden there's Donnie right in front of your face.
Yeah.
he did he have a big beard? I mean, I'm not saying
he looks the same.
He looks the same.
He looks the same as he always has.
Yeah.
He's probably 1.5 pounds heavier, maybe, but no more than that. He's that same wiry, nutty, beautiful human being whom I love very much. And we just have a thing. We have a bond, and through thick and thin type of deal. And he trusted me, and I trusted him, and it worked out great. So amen to that.
Amen. You did a fantastic record, because it's, if anybody's going to listen to it, I'm going to put the links down below. I actually put links in my previous interviews where I had Ronnie and Brian Forsythe, Ronnie Yonkins and Brian Forsythe, and I was asking them about, does anybody talk in there? It's like everybody's afraid to say anything because,
Oh, sure.
But they all give Donnie the respect and love.
Yeah.
And, as a fan of the band, and Donnie's a big part of it, his songwriting, his bass style, me being a bass player, I was so interested in. The question for me personally, what I want to know is, does he still have that great, cool bass, Les Paul bass?
I haven't seen it in a room, but I've heard it on the tapes.
That you heard it on the tapes?
Yeah. It's a short scale bass. And there were certain songs that he really felt the short scale bass with him playing it with a pick, which is what he always did in Kix, was the right sound. And then there were other songs where me playing with my fingers on a full scale bass, I think it's an Ibanez that I have. It's a purple thing that I won't waste your time running to get and show you. And that had a bigger, fuller sound force and was right for certain songs. So we went back and forth. It was a bass tag team, and but he would write the song and send me. In some cases, it was if they were older songs that he had done pretty full recordings of, he would send me those. And if they were newer ones, he would just send me voice, acoustic or electric rhythm guitar, maybe some licks in there, and maybe a little drum machine and stuff. And then I would build it out from there, and he'd comment. We'd go back and forth. And I had a drummer here in Syracuse named Robbie Spagnoletti, who played all the tracks. Fantastic. Did it in his living room studio. Never saw him. We just communicated via email. And so the first we all saw each other was this day he came up. Yeah. And Jeremy Johnston was the engineer who did the mixing and the mastering. He did speak to Donnie. I think he had to do some remedial Pro Tools computer kind of stuff for Donnie. And then Donnie's pal, John, down there, John Moore, did the engineering for and with Donnie. And so it was kind of a team where we'd all just chip in what we could do and what we didn't know. And we were all somewhat limited, other than Jeremy Johnston kind of knew all the audio stuff. Mm-hmm. And he could be our last port of call if we were just totally befuddled and throwing our hands in the air. But otherwise, I would chip in my bits and Donnie would do his bits. But Donnie was he was the birth mother. He was the progenitor of the whole thing. They are his songs and his lead vocals. And, he's a monster talent. And
Oh, yeah.
he and I go back to like 1983 or 4, somewhere in there, 84, 85.
How
I
did you
don't
guys meet?
remember.
How did you guys?
Long story short, tapes of mine trying to get an artist deal were brought to Atlantic Records. They didn't hear me as an artist, but loved me as a songwriter, collaborator. Richard Steinberg, who was the Kix A&R guy for Atlantic Records, said, "Bob, would you write with Donnie Purnell from Kix?" I said, "We'll give it a whack." And these two nutty guys meet, Bob and Donnie, and we hit it off right away. And he knew exactly what he wanted to do. And I found ways that I could be the expediter of his dreams, if you will. And a lot of good things happened. And of course, the culmination in Kix world was the "Don't Close Your Eyes" moment. He had written the song, the beginnings of the song, with John Palumbo from Crack the Sky. And we had done it that way on another song. Walking Away was the name of that one, on Midnite Dynamite, I think. And he came to my apartment in Brooklyn with this song somewhat done, not fully done, and I added my bits and pieces. And Bob's Your Uncle, there it went, and there it is on my wall someplace. I got to move my head out of the way. I got a big head. Now I'm all reversed here. Okay, there's Donnie's record.
Right
That's
there.
"Don't Close Your Eyes." And then I think below it, is the album. But in any event, yeah, it was a wonderful success that kind of snuck up on all of us, and very happily so.
So that's all we have time for today. But in the meantime, you could click on the link right here and get Donnie Purnell's newest album, Hooray. And if you want to catch this episode right this second, unedited, become a member right here on YouTube. We'll be releasing more clips from my conversation with Bob, so make sure you hit the bell to be notified. And also check out Kelly Rain, Bob's project that he just released, along again with Donnie's newest album. I know you want to see some more episodes. Well, make sure you click on the box that pops up right here. Until then, everybody, we'll catch you all later. Thanks for being here. Who loves you, baby? We do.